Hey everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today I'm going to show you how you can mix Pantone's Color of the Year for 2022, Very Peri. But I'm but I'm also going to explain to you what the heck Pantone is, why they get to decide the color of the year, give you a couple tips on, if you're an artist, how using Pantone can actually help you make more money. If you're a working artist, there's actually a couple resources there that can really change your bottom line on the dollar. It's one of my favorite things that I used to do. Now, the first thing to understand is, who are these color constables Pantone, right? Like, why are they in charge of the color of the year? And a lot of artists, believe it or not, have huge resistance to this concept. Like, they just hate that somebody gets to declare the color of the year.
But there's a good reason.
A good-ish reason.
Well,
Fashion and design.
But at least somebody's doing it.
Well, what it is that Pantone created a color index that unified colors so that designers and textile manufacturers and different people could talk to each other in a universal language. And they made that first little color block where you ever seen those with the swatches? Good designers have them, right? So they put this all together and they started helping everyone talk to each other in a special way with color. Like, they had codes, they tell you the CMYK, the RGB, any of the codes, the hex codes, all the different ways we talk about color. In other words, with Pantone's resources, you can match the color in your painting to the color on your computer better. Something I used to do in my mom's studio. That's how I used to match color across different systems where there can be problems. So there's a lot of uses for it. Now, as an artist, what is this Pantone Color Institute? Well, besides being what I described to you, this is the business unit within Pantone. And what they have is a lot of amazing experts. Like, these are people who live and eat and breathe color. And what they do is they travel the world and they look at markets, they look at designers, they look at what's happening. This is like literally their cool job, to scope the world for color. Can you imagine how cool that would be? And they come back and they tell the company, hey, we're noticing trends. Because believe it or not, there's like a connective consciousness with people around color. And they come back and they forecast. They're like, hey, we see this color like a lot and we think it's going to be a thing. And they start to notice the psychology that people have. Because, when you come out of a year like, say, 2021 into 2022, you might have some feelings, and those feelings can actually impact the colors that you choose. So they use color psychology and they consult, and then they partner with global brands and they let them know early. So all the designers pay a ton of money for this information, what colors they think people are going to be excited about, right? So knowing this information, you don't have to spend the $20,000 when the designers know it. They've got to make betting. They need to know early. You knowing this information now as an artist can actually help you create work that feels fresh and timely and current. And they have a bunch of resources that we'll get into. Now, color of the year. What is this nonsense? So they really go through a lot of processes, and they have different experts. They really do comb the world. Like, they'll show you a video on it if you go to their website, of them being awesome world travelers. And they also look at global culture experiences, like the pandemic, what we've just come through. And they look at how different figures are using color to deal with things, and they really get into that. And so they've been doing this for 23 years. So 23 years. They've said color of the year. Again, just because they said it doesn't mean you have to feel it. Just so you know. Now, this color of the year they've declared is Very Peri. Sometimes I don't like the pick. Sometimes I like their secondary picks, like the palettes that they have going with the color of the year. But this year I actually did like it because Very Peri, it's basically periwinkle, guys. And so they're like Very Peri. And here's what they said. It's encompassing the qualities of all the blues, at the very same time possessing a violet red undertone. Pantone 173938, which means you can find all of that technical color information about that color if you want to mix it and put it on your wall, if you want to use it in textiles, if you want to use it in your painting, on the website. Very Peri displays a sprightly, joyous attitude and a dynamic presence that encourages courageous creativity and imaginative expression. And then, whereas you people have all been trapped at home for a year, you probably want to make something. So let's talk about how to mix it, John. Yeah, let's talk about how to mix it. So mixing this color is actually blessedly straightforward. I actually determined that it was ultramarine blue, quinacridone magenta, and titanium white in my own palette. Do I think that other blues and reds and whites can get you to periwinkle? I'm sure of it. I love seeing the chat. By the way, I see Kristen and Linda and Karen and Tammy and Amy and Thela Blue and Irene. So it's good to see you guys. I didn't even get a text out. This is just a weird video that I wanted to share with you guys. So they've kind of given you a clue here in the description. If ever you want to know, how do I use this to mix colors? They describe it in a way that artists can understand it. It has a quality of blue, but at the same time possessing a violet red undertone. That's what helped me realize I needed to use ultramarine blue. I have to have a blue that already starts with a violet red undertone. Yeah? Mm. I didn't know what you were. Did you want to? I don't know what John wants. He helps me run the show.
Was over there.
Okay.
Not realizing you were still big you, I had to make you mini you so they could see what you're pointing at.
Okay. So we've got ultramarine blue, quinacridone magenta, titanium white, and we know now from their description that it's biased blue. Believe it or not, if you listen to how Pantone describes colors, it will help you mix colors because it will tell you where the biases are. So knowing that, I'm going to pull out a little bit of my ultramarine blue, and I'm going to grab some of my quinacridone magenta. And it does need to get into a purple, but we know that it's going to be biased into a blue. So let's get it into here. I'm kind of getting in that middle range. You can kind of see that happening here. And I'm going to add some white to it. Now I have a swatch up, right? So that I can see on my computer where I'm at. And I can take this over and I can go, oh, that's way too red. I'm going to put some blue in it. And I'm going to just keep taking my palette knife over to the swatch, and I feel like I've nailed it. I got to it pretty good in that thing. Yep, nailed it. So basically, it's 2 parts ultramarine to like a part red and a little bit of white. And what you're looking for is that it doesn't lean to that magenta, but it leans to the blue. Woohoo! The secrets of periwinkle, right? Oh, dead on, right? So you could print out the swatch. You can use your computer screen for the swatch. You can do any of that to match it up. But that's what it is. Seems pretty simple. But what do you do with that as an artist? And I don't know if John has the color palette, the amusement color palette I gave you with all the little color swatches on it. And also the harmony. Okay, so here. So there's a palette that they call amusements. And if you go into the website, it will tell you matching palettes. And what they've done is they've taken all the guesswork out of colors clashing, out of how do you create harmonies with this, how do you use these colors to create textiles, art, really anything, design schemes, right? And they have many selections. People with like deep degrees who've studied color their whole life design these. Do you have the one with all the little squares? Okay. So like this is the amusement palette, right? And on this, you can see these are all the colors that match the color of the year very well. So were I an artist who was working as I have been, one of the things that I can do is I can look at these resources and it can help me design color schemes that make my artwork current and commercial. Does that mean I'm selling out? No, it just means I'm making design choices that help me. Amy says it's so pretty, and we're all wishing that Irene feels better. Did we have any questions? I didn't get to see the live stoke questions. Should I check those? I didn't get to be in there. Do you have those? Got one for me. So, if there is any, because we had the moderators grab live show questions. And again, you go to the Pantone color sites. Believe it or not, you can make a profile and they will help you build palettes. If this is where you're struggling in art, in color, this is like getting a superpower mega boost to your modifier and your game character of the artist. Right? So that's what you're doing. You're getting a bonus modifier. Oh, tawny orange. That's actually my favorite in this palette as well as the tawny orange. I like it quite a lot.
What is that pink flambe? That's cool.
Pink flambe is really nice. And you can see it works really well with the Peri, the very Peri. And it's not that far off of that Millennium Pink that we had with the Serenity Blue. It's still, those are still in that same sort of thing. So you'll see trends are repeating. But this is how you use it. How do you use it as a new artist? Well, again, sometimes you'll be like, I don't know what colors to use. Well, if you don't know today, they know today, and then you can start there, and eventually using these tools and resources, you can get stronger in your own sense of color by learning through experience.
So you go order a 2020 Cadillac in
Yeah.
pink flambe with very Peri trim and an iced coffee interior.
Well, the thing is say you like pink flambe, you can go down to Home Depot or Lowe's with the Pantone color information, and that goes into their color mixing system, and it gives you exactly that. Exactly that numerically. If you need to have it in digital artwork, that color information is there so you can have exactly that. And they have all of the color systems on file for all these colors. It's an amazing catalog. Use this in combination with Golden's color mixer tool, which will tell you exactly what paints mix that Pantone color, and you can do anything in the universe. This is a weird color tip that I have. I think that if you use those again, and if you guys haven't seen the Golden color mixer, that's a pretty powerful tool. You take the Pantone color, you put the CMYK measurements in there, or the hex code in there, and they have those entries into the Golden color mixer, and then it says use these paints in what percentage to get the color. It's like science.
Amy, did you see Amy here? She wanted to know if you could do it one more time.
Sure.
Hold on a second. What we're going to do is we're going to even do it special from the side cam. So let me go. Boop, 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 put you there. Now.
Let's pull it over here. Now we know it's got to be a little more blue in the bias, so we're going to red it less, right? And so what we'll do this time is go in from the blue harder, right? So here we are into the blue. We've added a little bit of red. We're going to go into the blue harder, and you can see that's still pretty blue. Yeah, it's got a violet bias, but it's not quite here, is it? And I'm just using my palette knife to get a nice thorough mix. All right. So what do? I get a little more red, and I just keep working that little bit of red in. So this is why I never worry about jarring up colors or ever getting back to a color, because I can kind of get back to colors again pretty easily. You know, you can just do that pretty easily, and you can get there. And are we at color of the year? Yeah, it's match again. So that's how we get to Peri. It's the ultramarine blue, the quinacridone magenta, the titanium white. But all the Pantone colors will work like this. And again, if you're not sure, man, take my secret insider tip of using the Golden color mixer tool, right? And using the codes that Pantone gives you to know exactly what you need. Now, the Golden color mixer tool will tell you the pigments that make the color, and you would buy those tubes of paint and exactly follow it. You can also probably do it from a good set of primaries once you get better at color. Oh, thank you. Moderator Cad Yellow has shared the Golden color mixer paint mixer tool, and Pantone has it. You make an account, you register, you use the palettes, you go over to Golden, and you paint anything, all the colors, even if you're brand new, because you can follow a recipe, can't you?
All the colors.
All the colors are your colors. This is my gift to you for 2022. Yay. All of the colors. And we're going to thank Pantone, too, the color Gestapo. No, they're really not. They're good.
They're constables of color.
The color constables, right? But
They're
what they are
like,
is they're just like on an eat, pray, love kind of color vacation where they see the world and figure out what us humans are doing with our world. You don't. It doesn't have to be your color.
As a printer, I really appreciate Pantone. You know, they make such an easier job.
Painter, CIK, can we see the Golden color mixer site? I don't have it on screen share, but moderator Cad Yellow shared the link, and you just go check that out. You click that link, you save it on your browser. You cannot be an artist and not, well, you can, but you shouldn't be an artist and not have the color mixer link from Golden. And whether you love them or hate them, you should probably also have Pantone saved somewhere too, because these are really good resources just for artists in general, and you don't want to not have those. Amy's like, you spoil us with so many gifts, and then Don Han is like, she's like, I noticed that you got 666 subscribers. I know. I'm like, I looked it up on Angel Number, so I feel better about it. At first, I was like, 1980s, The Exorcist moment, but then I was like, all things are light, so I'm like ready now. I'm okay. Elaine Jake says, I guess I'm lucky I can easily see the colors and how to make them, but it does help me decide the palette for the painting along with the values and hues because sometimes it's so hard to simplify. Oh, yeah. No matter where you're at what level in your art, there's resources in both of those two tools that just make your art experience joy. And that is the purpose. That is the meaning of this year. Very Peri is a color of joy. And that's what I want for you for 2022. Now, I know this is a little video. We're going to be back again really soon. Enjoy those two tools. They'll be in the description below. I'll put them in the comments. I'll make sure they're on my website and you can see them right now in the chat link. So I'll make sure you have those resources because those resources, well, they're like art gold. And maybe I'll come back and show you how to make gold in some other videos. Let me know in the comments if there's a color you want to know how to mix or a technique you want to know how to do because you guys, that's why I have a channel. I do it for you. I love being an art teacher. So let me know what it is you want to learn.
All the very Peri in your hair.
Well, no, actually, I'm too biased red on that. You can see that I'm not. I'll do it. Wait, you want to see? I'm not going to get paint in my hair. I'm not going to do it.
Not going to do it. But she's gonna, she's going to do it. There's going to be paint.
See? My hair's a little biased red. But you can see in the screen that I nailed it. Look, nailed it! Okay. We're just art teacher online. But I know the things. Guys. Seriously, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I want to see you in an easel real soon.